teams made up of the world's top pros, each trying to capture the prestigious Elias Cup. Tonight, it's time for the finals. Jason Belmonte, Jacob Buttriff, and LAX go up against Kyle Troop, Wes Malott, and the Portland Lumberjacks. Both teams doing whatever it takes to be named PBA League champions, so get ready. The battle for the Elias Cup starts right now here on FS1.
And we welcome you to one of the capitals of professional bowling, and you hear why. Portland, Maine, Bayside Bowl, the house. The Pinheads have arrived, and they're here to see the culmination of 3 nights of live coverage of the PBA League. We're down to 2 teams after beginning with 8. On the left side, LAX, after taking out the defending champions, then beating New York City Kingpins. They're in against the hometown Portland Lumberjacks, who moved on over Brooklyn, and then in a dramatic, wild 3-ball roll-off, took out Dallas last night. And now, LAX has not won this Elias Cup. Is this their year?
LAX. This is our year.
Are you ready? Here's the lineup for the number 4 seed LAX. Leading off, a 5-time PBA Regional Tour champion, Anthony Lavery Spar. In the number 2 position, he won the 2019 USBC Masters, Jacob Buttriff. Bowling in third, a 2-time PBA Tour champion, Stuart Williams. Bowling fourth, he holds the all-time record for career major championships with 11 wins, Jason Belmonte. Bowling anchor, the 2015 PBA League Most Valuable Player, Dick Allen. Please give it up for the LAX team manager, Andrew Kane. Also seeking their first Elias Cup title. Will it be paraded through the streets of Portland?
We are the Lumberjacks. Chopping down the competition.
Here is your lineup for the number 7 seed, Portland Lumberjacks. Leading off, he owns 3 PBA Tour titles, Kyle Troop. Bowling second, 2018 Men's World Championships Masters gold medal winner, Mitch Hoope. In third position, the 2019 PBA Playoffs champion, Chris Prather. Bowling in fourth, the 2015 U.S. Open champion, Ryan Simonelli.
No, baby. Let's go.
Holding down the anchor position, 10 PBA Tour titles, including the 2013 U.S. Open, Wes Malott. The Lumberjacks team manager, a 3-time amateur World Bowler of the Year, USBC Hall of Famer, Tim Mack.
If you can't feel your heart right now, you're dead. We welcome you inside Bayside with Hall of Famer Randy Peterson and Kimberly Pressler. I'm Dave Lamont, and Randy, here we are, the third straight night of live coverage of this Elias Cup. And last night was another everything happened crazy last night evening.
It really was. It started with LAX. You know, they got through with a sweeper, but two very close games against NYC. And then what Portland did, what a comeback. But this man right here, Stu Williams, he's my MVP thus far. He's been perfect throughout the competition. Anthony Lavery-Sparr coming back from that foul, he finished nicely. And then Belmonte just being Jason Belmonte, the greatest bowler on the planet. Dick Allen ran into a little trouble, missed a 10-pin. They got away with that first game, and then game 2, he needed good count to mark, and he got it.
But that was fun, and then it got nuts. All right, well, because Dallas Strikers, a great team, so experienced, the hometown Lumberjacks. Strikers have won it before, Lumberjacks haven't, and it came down to ringing the bell.
And it sure did. What a great roll-off we had last night. Lumberjack Strikers, there's little Mason ringing the bell. Up first for the Strikers was Bill O'Neill, and all he does was fillet the rack. 7-10 goes late. Malott must match. He does.
By the way, Randy, I bet my house that Norm would strike. I'm still a homeowner.
You are. Kicks the 10 out nicely. Simonelli, he has to match. That's 10 in the pick. Full rack attack. Now, Tommy Jones, the best anchor on the planet. Bad shot, 210. Kyle Troop needs 9 or better to send his team to the championship match.
That's the happiest ringing 10 in the history of professional bowling. And guess what? Kyle is standing by along with Jason Belmonte and, of course, Kimberly Pressler.
Thanks, Dave. So, Kyle, your team is coming off the high of an exciting finish last night. This crowd is behind you 100%. You guys are the hometown favorites. So with all that going on, how do you focus and get done what you guys got to get done tonight?
Yeah, last night was great for our team to build the momentum going into today. You know, the crowd here in Bayside Bowl, we love them here. We know we have them on our side tonight. And the thing for our team has been to take control. We're bowling a lot of really good bowlers tonight, and our goal is to come out, take control early, handle it one frame at a time, and bring home the cup.
All right, thanks, Kyle. And Jason, this is the third time that you've been in the final of this event. The first 2 times you did not take a win, but your teammate, Dick Allen, this week, he tweeted out that you are bound to win the Elias Cup at some point. Is tonight that night?
Yeah, well, we'd like to think so. I mean, it's never easy bowling against the Lumberjacks here in Portland, but we're prepared. We're up for the challenge. You know, we have a previous MVP on our team tonight, and Dick Allen. Hopefully we give him a chance to step up and throw a shot to win, because I think he's capable of doing it.
All right, well, good luck to your team tonight, guys. This is going to be great.
Oh, no, we can't wait. I mean, we cannot wait, Kimberly. Thank you. It is absolutely time for our PBA League Oil Pattern, sponsored by Firestone Complete Auto Care. Keep your car running newer, longer. Randy, what do we got?
Well, same pattern we've been using for the last 3 nights. The Mark Roth, named after the 34-time titleist Hall of Famer. 42 feet. The players are going to try to get it to that break point down the lane. The straighter players, you'll see the angle right there that they'll be using. And the heavy-handed players like Belmonte, they'll be in and swinging to that spot. Jacob Buttriff and Simonelli, they'll be playing right around second arrow on the left side, feeding it just out to the left side of the lane and hooking it back to the 1-2 pocket.
And speaking of the man, he is here. And they will hand out the Mark Roth MVP Award tonight. And Randy mentioned at the top, Stu Williams, probably the front runner. But we got a busy evening tonight, because you're not going to get 2 games. You're going to get 4 games in 2 rounds with this Baker format of 5 bowlers, each bowler getting 2 frames. So Anthony Lavery-Sparr here is going to bowl leadoff, which means he'll bowl the 1st and 6th frames for LAX. And we will begin with them on the left lane.
You know, the only thing I could think of when you were going through the format was holy roll-off.
Oh, you're right.
Because we could have a lot of them.
7 potential roll-offs tonight.
Vicious ringing 10 there. It's what pretty much ended my career. Okay, who am I kidding? It was flat tens.
That was a funny little bounce out of the hand, but he was able to get that massaged over to the 10-pin.
Nothing bad happens when we start with a snare.
Now for the Lumberjacks, they'll go to their energetic leadoff batter, Kyle Troop.
Kyle looks real intense tonight. Very focused.
No, not a stiff 9 to start things.
You know, it wasn't long ago where he actually left that exact same pin bowling against Jason Belmonte in this building during the PBA playoffs. It ended up costing him.
So spares to get things started.
Really nice shot there.
This is the race to 2, which we're going to be looking at here. So you win one game, you get a point. You win the second game, you win 2-0, you won a round. You got to win 2 rounds. And it gets more complicated after that. And Buttriff will get a tap. The no-tap tournament ended.
He's playing pretty deep, too. He's almost in the 3rd arrow. And watch this bit action here. Off the sidewall. A little nosedive into the ankle of the 3-pin.
Wow. That's, again, starting on Tuesday night, we've seen some crazy late strikes. Mitch Coupe. And then you get a powerful flush like that.
Real high rev rate, 482, almost 500 rev rate.
Well, here he is, the man we've dubbed Mr. Perfect. Stu Williams has had 8 chances and has thrown 8 strikes the first 2 nights.
I'm not sure I've seen Stu throw it better than we have the last 2 nights. And like you said, 8 for 8.
So,
and coming off of that second-place finish to Jacob Buttriff in Lubbock just a couple of weeks ago.
He brought all that good stuff with him here into New England. And the streak ends at 8.
How dare you?
That's, you know.
Do they even know who you are, Stu?
No, they don't. Even he's surprised. Now he should be.
Right?
That bell, by the way, you saw in your shot a moment ago. If we have a tie, 1 game each, and we have to go to a roll-off, that bell gets rung. That is a Bayside Bowl tradition.
All right, Dave, I'm going to go down to Tim Mack. Hey, I'm looking for that 77-time world champion over 30 different countries. Tim Mack, can you hear Randy?
I can hear you, Randy. How's it going up there?
Tell me what you see early on.
Well, listen, I think there's some nerves going on right now, but there's been a lot of quality shots from both teams. We got to really stay ahead of the transition and try to stay ahead of the moves.
Thanks, Tim.
PBA playoff champ Chris Prater. Another wraparound 10. Timmy made a great point. This is such an charged atmosphere that I'm not surprised that he touched on nerves being part of this. And Tim is a former athlete himself and obviously was an accomplished bowler, and he was a football player at Penn State, so he understands pregame nerves.
I think the mindset is a little bit different now as well because of the change in the format. It's not so much of a sprint anymore because now it's 2 rounds of 2 games.
Dubbed the Shark by those in Portland who've come to admire his fine game. So you win game 1, you earn a point. You win game 2, you earn a point. If we're tied after 2 games, the winner of the roll-off will win that. If the team split 2 rounds, a 1-bowl roll-off will determine our champion. So we have 2 rounds in this race for 2 points. Here is the great Jason Belmonte. What kind of shape will he give us tonight?
Dave, take a look at this motion here.
I knew what I was doing. Unlike what you did yesterday, I bit my tongue. I was going to say, hey.
He's covering half of Maine.
That is from Portland to Booth Bay to Bar Harbor and back to Portland.
Ryan Simonelli will take a somewhat more direct and occasionally violent approach into the pocket. Yes, sir. You've been Simonelli'd.
And we're all tied up. 60 apiece. We have a 9-pin, 3 10-pins, and now we have the artist formerly known as Richie Allen. This is Dick Allen.
And the Baron of Bayside gets a kick save and a beauty on the 10.
Remember, these two teams will flip lanes after each game. The LAX, the higher seed, they choose to start this championship match on the left lane. They'll finish on the right lane.
Now, no one has thrown more strikes than Wes Malott. You notice these those spares. A couple of those open frames were little touch-ups in the 10th frames when things were decided. So he, too, has been utterly brilliant. That's his 10th strike. Wes Malott. And the PBA on FS1 is sponsored by Go Bowling. For promotional offers, tips to improve your game, news, or to locate a bowling center near you, log on to gobowling.com. The night sky of Portland, Maine. And then we go inside to Bayside Bowl, the Elias Cup Finals. Portland versus LAX. And it is time for Randy Peterson with tonight's track technique.
Well, we're going to take a look at two polar opposite players and really focus on their follow-throughs. You're real strong, Ryan Simonelli on your left, and that violent follow-through. And watch how soft and subtle this follow-through is from Stu Williams. And look at some of these lines. Look how much tilt Ryan Simonelli has. And he's a great athlete. You can see just how low he gets and how much knee bend he's using on, and how much pressure that knee is actually taking. Stu a little bit more upright, not as much knee bend, but the big difference with these two players is right there. Two players getting it done two completely different ways.
So we get ready for the 6th frame. So the leadoff bowlers come back for their final frame of the game. If you bowl first, you bowl 6th. Second bowler 7th, 3rd, 8th, 4th, 9th, and your anchorman 5, and of course the 10th. And a great year for Anthony. That doesn't hurt either.
A breakout year for Anthony. And I'll tell you what, if you can get it done on the left lane, it's a big advantage, and we've seen that throughout the competition.
Yeah, after the first couple of nights, the first game and a half or so, we noticed it was about a 16% higher striking rate on the right lane than the left lane.
Remember last time up for Kyle, he left that ugly 9-pin. Not this time.
This time, it's personal.
That ball went through the pins and created a black hole in the pit. Watch this beauty.
I moved one.
Hello. Yeah. Still tied up now.
Big turn. Ringer on the 7.
All right, going down to the 5-time member of Team USA, Andrew Kane. What are you seeing out of your team early on?
We're locked and ready to go. You know, we caught a break with Jacob's roll 3-pin, but we got some momentum. We got the same lineup we had yesterday, and we're feeling really good right now.
And you chose to start on the left lane so you could finish on the right lane because?
That's correct. We've done it the first 2 matches. We've still seen a lot more benefit if we go to a roll-off to being on that right lane.
Thank you, Andrew. Good luck.
Thanks, Randy.
Just a quick reminder about our format in this race for 2. We have 2 rounds tonight. So we're going to have 4 games. Winner of game 1 earns a point. You get a point for game 2. If tied after 2, you roll it off 1 ball for 1 point. And if you split after 2 rounds, we'll roll it off. And Hoope takes down the 10. And by the way, you could not win the first 3 games and still win the Elias Cup.
True. 6 going to the sidewall, taking care of business for the smooth stroke and Mitch Hoope.
So I have to ask, because we were talking
earlier tonight before we hit the air about the lineup for LAX. Andrew Kane is sticking with what got him here. But Dick Allen admittedly did struggle a little bit last night. Would you have done anything differently?
I may have looked at this guy right here or Belmonte, but it would have all been predicated on how practice went. We talked him up in the beginning of the show. We had that highlight package, and now it's back-to-back ring 10s for Stu.
Well,
sorry, my friend.
I'm not taking any responsibility for that.
I'll take it.
Okay, go ahead. Appreciate that. No, we dubbed him Mr. Perfect yesterday after his 8-for-8 start, and he's thrown 2 good-looking shots, just could not catch a break on the angle, and therefore the ring 10s.
Way too much angle.
Way too much angle. What does he mean there?
He's crossing too many boards. He's too steep through the front part of the lane. Ball's going too far to the right, and by the time it gets back, it's a little late.
Been a big year for Chris. He has to be considered when folks are voting for Player of the Year. My goodness.
A lot of 10 pins being left early on. Another nice shot, but again, it's the ring 10. And see, that wasn't as steep an angle as we saw Stu Williams play. And it's still left the ring in 10.
Well, the Lumberjacks have a slight lead. Prathers had 2 10 pins to deal with.
Good spare shooter.
Yeah, just once more, as you would understand.
Now, here's the guy to set up the 10th frame for your team. And, I mean, it's like, who do you give the ball to with 2 minutes to go in the game?
Well, you could give it to the founder of LAX, Chris Paul. That wouldn't be a terrible decision. However, in this case, I think Belmo, as far as bowling goes, yeah.
Take a look at his last shot there to the right of your screen. That was an absolute mirror image of the first shot thrown. He missed inside down lane at 45 feet by about a half an inch.
That is remarkable. That's 2 lines, but it looks like 1. Now, Chris Paul, the founder of LAX, of course, he's an avid bowler and probably watching from wherever he may be at the moment. Little kiss on that 7.
Little late kick, and now no matter what LAX does in the 10th frame, they cannot shut out the Lumberjacks. Max score 238 for Dick Allen and his squad, 249 for Portland.
That's about a half a dozen ringers. Plus, I think we had a ringing 7, did we not?
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 10 pins, a 7 pin, and a 9 pin. Every ball has been in the pocket this game, except for the trip 3 from Jacob Buttrick.
Right. And again, Dick Allen missed a 10 pin. He did this last night in the 10th frame, and it didn't cost LAX. They ended up winning the game.
Now do you start looking at a lineup change?
Well, that's what I was a little bit hinting at, but
I mean, he's a former MVP of the league. We know what he's done in this building, but the last 2 nights has been a struggle. He just needs pins, the big guy does. I think he can handle it.
And the messenger will roll in the wrong direction, but that's okay for the Lumberjacks.
Well, they'll take game 1, and they'll move over to the left lane.
So in the race for 2 in round 1, the home side, Portland Lumberjacks, grabbed the first game in unexpected fashion. Not expecting it to come down to a mistake in the 10th instead of some maybe big shots
keep going up the lane.
in the 10th.
Question. Does anyone need to fill more? No, we can't change. No. Okay. What do you want to do?
I need that to strike.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I wanted to go around it, but I want to get the first one first.
All right, well, you can go around it now. Go left and go around it now is what I'm saying.
All right, so go left and go around it means what, Randy?
Move your feet to the left and create more shape. So he's going to arc it more. He's going to curve it more.
I hear you. I'm with you.
Westmoreland, this shot has no factor in the competition, but this is for West to feel good about himself and to feel good about what he needs to do out there when they return to that right lane. But now they'll switch lanes. Portland has one leg up in the race for two. But remember, you don't have to win all the games to take home the cup. So LAX is very much in it. So Portland's Lumberjacks have the 1-0 advantage over LAX. .228, 206. Again, a surprise mistake in the 10th frame really opened this game up and allowed Wes Malott. He didn't have to worry about striking in that 10th frame to put things away for Portland. Randy, take a look at Strike Track. You've discovered something through geometry, my worst subject.
Well, what I really like about what the Lumberjacks are doing is the right-handers are kind of mirroring one another. Wes Malott is just a little bit right of Prather, but he's going to move in and try to arc it a little bit more. And what this does for this team is it actually gives them a very good read with every shot that's thrown, except obviously from the southpaw Simonelli.
So LAX, now you've got to ask yourself what may be going through the mind of Andrew Kane, a multiple-time Team USA member, an excellent bowler in his own right, and whether he'll be making any changes. And you know what? We got somebody who's going to ask him that right now, Kimberly Pressler.
Thanks, Dave. So, Andrew, that 10-pin on the left lane was not your team's friend, but you guys are now moving over to the right lane. Have you decided if you're going to do any lineup changes?
No, we're not going to do any lineup changes for this game. You know, worst case scenario, we still have another match to go. Confident in the way we've played this out with our team, and I got every confidence in the world that if we need Dick Allen in the 10th frame, he's going to be there.
All right, thank you so much. Good luck to you guys.
All right, Andrew and Kimberly, thank you very much. So Andrew Kane sticking with what brung him as the, well, sort of the expression. It's actually you dance with brung. Yep.
Dance with the one you brung?
Yep.
I never bring anybody, so.
No, I never dance.
Yeah, I end up dancing by myself.
Yeah. Thank you, Billy Idol.
And that doesn't look very good either.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And by the way, bravo for the Billy Idol reference.
That was good. I like that.
Yep.
You know, and I think that's the right move right now for Andrew Kane. You know, there's no sense in jumping the gun just yet.
Okay. Down through left lane. Look out, 4-9.
Kind of what we saw last night when they made the switch. They didn't anticipate that lane hooking as much as it did. This time Kyle pays for it, goes through the nose, leaving the 4-9. Looking to get the ball over to the left side of the 4-pin and slide it into the 9. Kind of like a cut shot in pool.
Nope, got a little bit too much of the 4-pin, so an open frame to start off the second game of round 1. 2 rounds tonight. 2 is a big number in this PBA League Elias Cup Championship night. 2 rounds, you win 2 points, what you have to do. 2 games per round. Man, Avery Spar, pretty looking shot, maybe a little too deep, but.
Boy, does he have a violent move going to the pocket.
Chance to give LAX an early lead here.
That little stutter step there in the middle of his approach is very unique. Last time I saw a player that had a stutter step that short may have been PBA champion Jason Hurd. That's going back a bit.
That is. Wow.
Now I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Mitch Hoope hits the pocket on this shot because he knows exactly the move to make off of what Kyle Troop did. Okay, and I'm wrong.
Yeah, he was a little light, and for the 3rd time in this competition, we have seen that leave. Chris Barnes left it in a big situation where he needed a strike to win. Tommy Jones left that last night in the roll-off, and now Mitch leaves it here.
Come on, make it happen here. Let's go.
Going for it, missed it. Not even close.
Back-to-back opens.
Start it here now.
And again, we see the left lane being problematic.
So can Jacob Buttroff. I'm sure the word unorthodox has been used to describe this style. It is certainly individual, and it is certainly successful. Messenger delivers. At 25 years old, he already has 7 tour titles and a major.
They can't do that. Captured his first major earlier this season, winning the Masters. Tomahawk on the 7.
I haven't seen a lot of Messengers yet. That was about the first significant one of the night.
I think my favorite thus far, though, was Bill O'Neill's last night. 7-10 standing. Messenger took them both out. Man, that was good. What I really liked about that shot was he really backed the speed down to make sure that the ball read and got some traction on that slick left lane.
He has to be asking himself, what else do I have to do?
Yeah.
He's had nothing but ringing 10s.
Third one in a row for Chris Prather.
Yeah, he handles the spare professionally, but I just imagine his level of frustration right now is off the charts.
Did you see it right there where he took the ball he's using and chucked it underneath?
Yep.
So there may be a ball change coming for Chris Prather.
Yeah, that ball's going to the bench. Now, Stu Williams, who Bulletin, this may have come across on Twitter, did not strike in his first 2 times across in the first game here in round 1.
And he, too, leaving back-to-back ringing 10s. But they're over on the right lane now where there's a lot more strikes being thrown on this lane. And there you go. Have another ringing 10.
No, thank you.
Boy, a lot of them tonight. Wow. And that can change very quickly with the transition of the oil pattern.
We're bowling on 42 feet, by the way. The Mark Roth pattern. Mark is here. And the MVP award named in his honor. In just 2 days, one of the greatest fighters of our generation puts his legacy on the line as Manny Pacquiao battles undefeated world champion Keith Thurman in the can't-miss fight of the summer. Saturday at 9 Eastern, live on pay-per-view, or you can order it on the Fox Sports app.
I know Thurman's undefeated, but I'm still going with Pacquiao.
I got to take Thurman. I'm going to go with youth in this battle.
Need a strike badly.
Oh!
The mixer.
Wow. Tim Mack, what is the biggest difference on that left lane for your team?
Well, right now, Randy, to the right, it really hooks down lane, and if you miss in a little bit, it doesn't read the pattern. So you got to do, if you're going to miss in, you got to be slow, and you just got to be cognizant of not having overbounce off the friction down lane.
Thanks, Tim. You know, it just looks like that ball should have a turn signal on it, right? When it starts to go left.
I'm super slow. Like, for me, I just think those 2 shots that I threw, if I'd have got it as far right as I got it on that
Getting
lane,
around it just a little bit. And
if I'd have got it in like
I mean, it looks like somebody just kicks it left.
But I think that's too hard. Yesterday, I didn't.
I mean, I've been watching this guy for a while, and I still can't believe what I see sometimes.
Yeah.
I really can't.
He's certainly put the wow factor in the sport. And Malott, big double.
Big West.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, we talked about performers who have always shined in PBA League, and Wes Malott would be in that category. It's been up and down for Dick Allen. He liked that shot a lot.
And he needed that shot for a little confidence boost.
And now he's got to stare down another 10 pin. He's missed 2, one tonight, one last night, and both times in the 10th frame. The second one, the one tonight, was costly. No trouble there. Very much up in the air. Nobody is running off and hot. Well, there's some Jason Belmonte fans in the building tonight. There's the Aussie flag, and we'll tell you about Flow Bowling, your exclusive home of PBA's Extra Frame, and features live streaming of all Go Bowling PBA Tour and PBA 50 Tour events. Up next on Flow Bowling, live coverage of the PBA 50 Dave Smalls Championship Lanes Classic from Anderson, Indiana. The action gets started on Sunday, so get your subscription today by clicking on the Flow Bowling link on PBA.com. And apparently we are now at a Boston Celtics game because the crowd is yelling, "Beat LA." New England not liking anything from LA.
I remember those days. I grew up being a huge Laker fan, obviously growing up in Southern California. And back in the Showtime days.
I half expect Kevin McHale to try to take out Jason Belmonte as he took out Kurt Rambis if McHale were here.
That was spectacular.
Back we go to the top of the order, and Kyle Troop in game 2 with Portland up 1-0.
Big shot here. Right back in it.
Oh, this is double picker. No, it's an autographed pick.
Oh, let's go, Portland. Oh, that's awesome.
Well, he briefly, during the break, loaned Jacob Buttroff a pick. It seemed like that worked for Jacob in the background there. Anthony Lavery-Spar, not a candidate, but he's cool with it. That messenger, never going to get there.
He almost left a light pocket 410 on that shot. Let's take a look at his footwork, Dave. It's a very unique game, and watch a little shuffle there. There's the first step. 2, 3, and then the pivot. A little hop right in the middle of that, and then just unloads at the foul line. Twin brother Sean also bowls on the PBA Tour.
Hang on.
That's a huge mistake, because now the Lumberjacks have just retaken the lead, or I should say they have just taken the lead. Hoope now with a ball change, and they can increase their lead now to 19, just like that.
He's been all over the pocket tonight. And splash down.
When we were at break, Tim Mack, the manager, told Mitch Hoope to change balls. He told Chris Prather to change balls, and the last thing that was spoken was from Wes Malott, who said, whatever you do, just make sure you commit.
Well, that got him jacked up in here. They're yelling Lumberjacks right now. Jacob Buttroff's going to have to quiet this crowd, this Portland heavy crowd here. That'll do it. Just an absolute collapse of the pocket.
Yeah, it was almost like the pins just fell over from exhaustion. His patented purple urethane ball going down the lane. And now Prather, ball change for him.
Oh, is he overdue for something other than a ringing 10?
Be a good time to strike right here. Finally. Ball change successful. Remember, they opened the first and second frames, Dave. Now they've got 5 in a row and a 29-pin lead.
Stu Williams, who incredibly, after going 8 for 8, has not struck. He's hit the pocket 3 times. That's got to hurry. And the messenger will go in front of the 10. Never really a threat.
Short pin. Mr. Perfect's hit a wall.
Yep.
Has yet to strike tonight. And all 10 pins.
Wasn't bad.
I didn't like the way that it was going down the lane. I thought he was a little bit too far left.
Here, Jason Belmonte didn't like the shot at first, I'm sure. It looks Stu Williams didn't look like a guy who thought he threw his best shot there. Belmonte has been utterly brilliant tonight for LAX, but really nobody else has stepped in besides him. Buttroff's had some good strikes, but at the moment, Portland is getting a little bit more balance out of their side. Ooh, bucket got busted up, but there's still a little bit of work there for Ryan.
Let's go down to Tim Mack. Timmy, how are you guys able to turn this around after back-to-back open frames?
Well, we made 3 ball changes. 2 ball changes. We made a ball change with Mitch, and we made a ball change with Prather. And obviously it's paid off for us. We're going to make this spare here and see if the big guy can take us home.
Thanks, Tim. Wes Malott, any mark will do.
Yeah, that's just it. Jason's efforts may not be enough. If Portland wins this, they will be halfway to the title. Oh, goodness. Collision, and then down goes Frazier.
Wes decided to go straighter on that left lane in this game. You see some of his other teammates are farther left and hooking it a little bit slower speed. Wes decided to stay right, keep the speed up, and go more direct.
So Portland is going to do the first round in their favor. That doesn't matter. Wes didn't even look at it. It's going to be okay for the Lumberjacks. Round 1 goes to the home team. The Portland Lumberjacks have captured the first round. But you know what? You need 2 to win. More free beer they're calling for.
That's what happens if you miss the 5-pin. You have to buy for everyone.
Oh, what do you think the big fella's going to do here?
He better not miss it. Get expensive.
Yeah. He's got his pride after all. So the Lumberjacks take the first round. They've got to win 2 rounds to win the Elias Cup. So LAX can come back, win the second round, and we'll be rolling off for the title. Dick Allen with a ball change there. We got a little test track.
Well, he went to something that curves more, and you have to move in and open the lane up. So he just left a 4-pin. He'll make an adjustment off of that, and then we'll try to make an educated guess as to whether or not he should try to hook it or try to throw it straighter.
I'm just wondering, as we get ready to put this first round to bed, if the Portland Chamber of Commerce has scheduled a parade for the Elias Cup in case the Lumberjacks win this thing, because they are, after all, halfway there. They've got to win round 2 in order to do it, and LAX could lose the first 3 games and still win the Elias Cup. Don't go away, because this won't be over, as a great man said, till it's over. There it is, the Elias Cup. That's going to be hoisted by one of these 2 teams tonight, the Portland Lumberjacks, who won the first round, or will it be LAX? Can they rally and win the second round to force that 1 ball, or maybe in the case of last night, multiple shot roll-off that we had in order for Portland to get through? So inside Bayside Bowl, Randy, we saw Portland win the first 2. We saw LAX, almost everybody except for Belmo, struggling a little bit to find the pocket consistently.
Well, and then when they do find the pocket, all they do is leave ringing 10s. Everybody but Belmo hasn't figured out the right way to shape their bowling balls. They get their balls to strike when they do get to the pocket. Jacob Buttripp, he's thrown some strikes, but some of them have been kind of iffy. You know, he rolled the 3-pin in game 1. Last strike we saw him throw a real light mixer, so it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of confidence on the side of LAX right now.
And Portland goes to a big ball change, and that worked out for them very well in the back half of game 2.
Yeah.
Well, it's time for our Go Bowling fan tip of the week with Randy, and I'm going to jump in on this one with you too, Part, because we've got National Bowling Day coming up Saturday, August 10th.
Hey, remember, Go Bowling will be on Fox and Friends to chat, bowl, and have fun. Free bowling coupons can be claimed at GoBowling.com or Go Bowling social media channels beginning August 5th.
And those free game coupons valid through August 31st. Of course, National Bowling Day has been observed the second Saturday in August now since 1956. And there are more exciting things happening with Go Bowling. The week after National Bowling Day is Go Bowling's NASCAR race at the Glen takes place. And a lot to celebrate about the sport as well and how this year has gone. So we got the managers have a little bit of time to think. I'm going to put you in the seat of Andrew Kane right now. Are you making any changes for LAX?
I think you have to. I think it's time that you put the #1 player on the planet in that anchor position, and at least if nothing else, you've got that rock you can lean on. You've got that go-to guy in the right spot, and I think a lineup change right now is something that needs to happen to shake things up.
So will Andrew Kane make that change? Tim Mack, we think he's going to stick with a pat hand. He understands things are going his way right now, but don't forget, LAX can still force the roll-off and can still win this thing over the Lumberjacks. Lock it down. Back in Portland, Maine, the calm before we get going here for round 2, with Portland taking the first round. You need 2, though, to be the Elias Cup champion. LAX can still pull this off, Randy, but they got to get it together.
Yeah, they've missed 2 10-pins in 2 games, one by Dick Allen and one there by Anthony. And then all of a sudden, the Lumberjacks got lined up through a 5-bagger to complete control. Malott, 10th frame, winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Well, we saw ball changes for Portland. Now we're going to see a lineup change for LAX. You hinted at this, and it has happened. And now Dick Allen moves from the 5 spot all the way to 2. Jacob Buttriff goes to 3. Stu Williams 4. And there he is, Belmo in the number 5 spot.
I like that. And I think Stewie's going to figure out a way to get the 10 out. And I think they're going to get right back in this. But then again, I've thought of a lot of things over the years.
I've never known you to be wrong. Lavery Spar, though, on that problematic left lane.
Andrew, talk to me about the change in your lineup.
Yeah, we kept having some issues with Dick and his ball reaction out there. I got no doubt he'd throw it, but we need to make a change. Jason right now is locked in, and he's the best player in the world, so we're going to try to take this second match with him in that spot.
Thank you, Andrew.
The troop is on fire. Look at the rev rate, a blistering 5:39.
I just can't get over the recovery after back-to-back open frames in game 2 of that first round. Troop leaving the 4-9, hooping 210, and then the next thing you know, they win that first round.
And Dick Allen still can't buy a strike. His credit cards are not being accepted right now in this building, and that's a surprise. So to give you a reminder of our format tonight, we've already had 1 round go by, but now in round 2, if you get a game, you get a point. You get another game, you get another point, and you win. But if we're tied after 2 games, the winner of the roll-off earns a point. And that's what we're looking for now, a chance for a roll-off. That's what LAX is going to have to force. Otherwise, Portland will win it all. But the other thing that's kind of fun, and look at this. Mitch is from Canada. You know who did that? His dad did that.
That's awesome. Oh, that's great.
And he's going to leave a 4-pin. I was going to quote Slapshot, but then I realized I don't think I can quote any line from that movie on TV.
better to play it safe.
Yeah, Andrew Anderson standing over there near the sign.
Mitch Hupig from Winnipeg.
Yep. Has represented Canada before in international competition and has done very well as a PBA League rookie.
Made a show earlier this season, finishing 5th at the USBC Masters.
That's such a hard show to make, too.
It is. Tough format.
Messenger dropped on him.
Yeah, and not what manager Andrew Kane was hoping for when he made this change. He was hoping for his 3, 4, and 5 players to string them together and then hope that Lavery Spar and Dick Allen could back it up with a couple of their own. Just the most unusual style out here. Jacob Buttriff, and just shimmies to the foul line, rolls his wrist up under it, throws a conventional grip bowling ball. We talked about that a couple of nights ago on Go Bowling with Randy. And hey, this is another ball change for Chris Prather over here on this right lane.
Well, the ball change in the left lane in the last game worked beautifully.
He is way in and hooking it, and that was DOA. I'm not really sure about trying to create that much angle with a rev rate under 450. And I know Chris can play all over the lane, but I'm not so sure he has to play that much.
Well, that's kind of the Belmonte line.
Exactly right.
But he's got a higher rev rate. Right. I know that.
Right. Remember, I said he's a good spare shooter.
Got it. And that is going to be our hammer tough spare replay.
I mean, this is almost like I knew what I was talking about. Chris just gets the ball over to the left side of the head pin, cuts it into the 10, and the ball takes out the 2-4.
That's a big boost for his side, a big boost for Chris's confidence. I think Tim Mack is counseling him on another ball change. And here's Stu.
There you go, he's back. Finally, Stu catches a hit. Come on. We're going to go down and talk to Portland manager Tim Mack. Tim, talk to me a little bit about the ball changes that Chris Prather's going through and why so much angle.
Yeah, well, in the practice shot, he didn't like what we saw, so he thought the ball rolled a little too early, so we went something a little cleaner. He just got a little too steep in the front of the lane. So we're going to go back to that ball that he used on the left lane, and we should be good his next shot.
Thanks, Tim.
So you see the flames coming out as Ryan Simonelli exceeds 20 miles an hour with that dart. LAX enjoys a small lead. And Belmo tonight, man, has he been something.
His shot making has been phenomenal. And to see if it continues, they put him in the spot where I guarantee you he feels he should be, and so does most of the world.
Oop, quiet 10 for him, first time.
When you walk it off like that, you usually like it, and you don't see Belmonte leave week 10s very often.
But you usually see him make his spares.
Yeah, I want you to watch the angle that Wes Malott plays on this shot, because I think it's something that Chris Prather can mirror very easily.
Saturday in FS1, we got an MLB doubleheader. Pete Alonso powering the Mets to take on the Giants, and Anthony Rendon and the Nationals against Ronald Acuna Jr. And the Braves catch the action starting at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific on FS1 and the Fox Sports app as we watch the angle.
See how much straighter that is?
Yeah.
And Chris can play anywhere he wants. He can do anything to a bowling ball. And I'd rather see him do that. Something in his mind is telling him that's not the way to play it for him.
Well,
First things first on FS1, the weekday morning sports show for die-hard sports fans. We share your passion. We live it, breathe it, and can't get enough of it.
First things first, people. That's how we do it.
First things first, weekday mornings at 6:30 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
time for our Columbia 300 fun fact. Since its inception in 2014, 4 different players have won the PBA League Mark Roth MVP award. Mark in the foreground there. PBA Commissioner Tom Clark next to him. Chris Barnes has done it twice. Dick Allen, Tommy Jones, and Norm Duke. Randy, there's an interesting conversation going on during the break. There's Dick Allen, one of our MVP winners. Wes Malott, Tim Mack, and Chris Prather.
Is it like a 5-board move for you? I move up on the approach, but it's a 5-board move for me normally. I'm just trying to feel you out to feel out where to go. Not off a watch out, just in general. If you're lined up, but your ball's starting to burn up, you need to jump in a zone, but you got to slow it down to get it. What do you do?
Normally for me, it's probably 3 to 5, depending on what we're bowling on, and then a faster ball, like cleaner. So like,
I don't even change balls.
Yeah, I know you don't.
Okay, what are we going to do?
Let's
Figure out what we're going to do next.
So, because my normal move from playing normal to where I'm at, they're a little tighter to the right.
Yeah,
this path is serious tighter. So that's my point. Why I want to discuss this.
Well, they're trying to get him lined up, and I don't think Chris is real comfortable right now in that right lane. and maybe unsure about which direction to go in. And so that's what they were trying to clarify. So Wes is saying, well, normally when you go to a different zone, what is your move? And you heard him say it. Wes Malott, he'll make that move up on the approach and not change balls. So they're just trying to get on the same page.
Throughout the year, these guys go against each other, but one time a year they unite and work as teammates. It's one of the reasons this event is so fascinating as we begin Anthony Lavery-Spar's second go-around here in the first game of round 2. Round 1 has gone to the Lumberjacks. If they win round 2, they win the Elias Cup and another ringing 10-pin.
How many of those do you think Lavery-Spar has left today or tonight? 3?
He covers it. We've had 2 single pins, 2 10-pins missed by LAX. Anthony doing one of them, Dick Allen the other. And that
was his 4th.
Yeah, and it was up there, no doubt about it. Kyle Troop now got to the playoffs, got a bad break on a 9-pin and lost to Belmont in the round of 16. Chris Prather, ultimately your playoff winner, $100,000 here in Portland.
Well, this young man got him to the championship. That was last night. He needed 9 or 10. He got 9. Ooh. A little ankle biting being done on the 10-pin there.
Right there, boys.
Yeah, that puts LAX down 18 now. That's a big shot.
Watch this. This could be flagged for clipping.
Number 1.
Oh, man.
An absolute struggle for that man right there.
He has changed equipment, Randy. We've seen that. What else can he do?
I'd like to see him try to hit it harder and try to hook it more.
Okay.
Try to maybe bring his, increase his speed a little bit, move left, open up his angles, and try to catch it a little bit more. More revolutions, more power.
Well, the Baron of Bayside, unfortunately, is having his kingdom turn against him tonight. The good news for LA is even if they lose this game, this contest is not over. They can still win the second game, win the round, and then win. We could have 2 roll-offs here, is what I'm trying to tell you. And Hoope has just given them a big aid, a big benefit.
Check the wood.
Well, and you heard Wes Malott in that conversation with Tim Mack and Chris Prather say that they felt this right lane was a little bit slick to the right. And you got to be careful when that happens because you get it into that zone and he'll do exactly what Hoope did right there, 2-8-10.
They counted him to go for the count, so he'll try to take out the 2-8 he did.
Well, just what LAX needed. They're only down 4 now. Andrew Kane, what do you tell your team to take advantage of that opening?
Sorry, Randy, can you go again?
Yeah, what do you tell your team to take advantage of that opening?
Oh, absolutely. We just need to keep calm. We got to keep that speed down and keep that tempo down, but told them to go after it.
And Buttriff surrounds the 10-pin and pushes it aside like a schoolyard bully.
That was like gang tackling on the 10-pin. Watch this. There's like 4 pins over there.
Somebody was going to get that 10-pin. Well, here's a big shot. Now, here's Chris Prather. We heard all the conversation focusing on getting him into the right pocket.
Ball change again. And that was a great shot. But that's exactly what I was talking about. That's playing the lanes very similar to what Wes Malott's doing. He threw it great. He got robbed.
Was that phase 2?
Since he's right-handed, Randy, I was watching the 10 get kicked aside. I almost called this a strike.
Yeah, that's where the 6 goes to the sidewall, takes the 10 out, and it's like a blower 7.
Unbelievable.
Unlucky.
Well, he apparently made a pretty darn good adjustment and just couldn't catch a break. And now LAX off a strike and in the 8th.
That was big and for a number of reasons, but now their max score is only 221, and LAX can strike out for 227.
And that information is courtesy of our scorekeeper, Mike Edwards, an invaluable member of our broadcast booth, to say the least, and along with everybody else who puts these shows together. cannot tell you what a pleasure it is to be around this group.
PBA champion Mike Edwards.
That's right.
Yeah.
So there's 3 of us here. PBA champion, PBA Hall of Famer, and guy who watches PBA. Okay, that works out.
guy who does PBA shows.
Fair enough. Here's Stu. Really?
Man. He's thrown some great shots tonight, and he's got nothing to show for it. 10 pin. 10 pin. 10 pin.
Keep going.
10 pin. Strike, solid 9.
There you go. My goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, they could have really, really put Portland in a vice there with a double.
Yeah, and now they're in jeopardy of losing the game.
Hey, that was really good.
It's a loss they can get away with if they win the next game.
Simonelli's quietly been very solid. He struck off at 1 shot tonight.
Yeah, he's been absolutely fantastic. The one he missed, it wasn't very good. It was he left behind 3 pins, but everything else he has just chopped wood.
Hence the Lumberjacks.
Yep, he's lived up to the team nickname. All right, what does Belmo have to do here?
Well, Belmo has to strike out to force Wes Malott to get the first strike and count in the 10th frame.
Oh, there's a break finally for LAX.
There was stuff flying everywhere in the pit. He's going to take to the air a couple more shots, and maybe this last shot, but watch the pin action here. Good grief. Taking a re-rack, he's going to make Wes Malott wait as long as possible. And again, another strike here puts him in the 200s, and that would force Wes Malott to get the first strike in the 10th frame.
Well, a few more capable in the anchor position than Malott. But Jason right now is milking the clock.
Lumberjacks have complete control of this game until the 7th frame. LAX yet to double.
And they didn't double again. So a 197 max for LAX.
5 10 pins for LAX this game.
And 2 for Belmo in this game. After being moved into the anchor position.
That was a great reaction, by the way. I don't know if you caught that.
He knows where Charles is.
I don't know if you caught that, but that was priceless. Just the sarcastic, thank you.
Goodness.
Any mark will do.
Well, Wes Malott's been in this position a bunch of times. You need a mark at 8 to knock down game 1 and put Portland on the precipice of their first Elias Cup.
Easy.
You got one, I got one.
Is this the year of the Lumberjacks? The hometown team.
Seven to win. That's 10. More than enough. And the Lumberjacks have taken the first game of round 2. You got to win both rounds. You got to win 2 games. for Portland. LAX can still do this, however. The amazing thing is, it is not over for LAX. You know you're good when you just walk away and start cheering your own shot before it hits the pins.
He turned away and he said, one more Portland. That guy there, yeah, he's really good.
Wow, what control. All right, LAX, guess what? If you're concerned about their chances, you know what they can do? Jason Belmonte and his team can win a game. Then they can win a roll-off. Then they can win another roll-off. And then they can take the Elias Cup. PBA League Elias Cup Finals down to our final game, but it may not be the end of bowling. Let's go to our Ebonite flashback, taking a look at last year's PBA League Elias Cup Finals right here in Portland at Bayside. And the Adams Splitters, man, did Chris Barnes have a day in those finals.
I remember exactly what he did over on the west coast of this building. He went real straight, played that nice, straight, tight line. He ends up with the MVP award.
And he got some help, too. Tom Doherty, A.J. Johnson, Jesper Svensson, who happens to be standing right in front of our booth tonight. And Dick Allen was on this team as well. And they took down the Philadelphia Hitmen 2-0. That's the third Elias Cup for the Adams Splitters. Only 3 teams have won it. New York the first year. Silver Lake has done it 3 times. Dallas back-to-back. We're going to have a new champion tonight. Will it be LAX? They got some work to do. Jason Belmonte is standing by with Kimberly Pressler.
Dave, they do have some work to do, but you guys are still in this. I hear there's a lineup change. Why don't you tell me about it?
Yeah, well, look, here's how we're seeing this. We're a couple of hits away from being right in this match. Take nothing away from Portland. They've bowled phenomenally. But we know if we can just string a few strikes together, put a little pressure on them, we're actually closer to winning this than we were at the beginning of the match. We're 1 game away, 1 roll-off, 1 more roll-off, and the title's out. So it's really up to them now to lose it. It's up to us to grab it from them, and that's going to be our plan.
Can you boil it down to one thing that's been a problem for you guys?
I think it's actually been our break point length. It's just been a fraction long. The ball's gone a little bit too far down the lane. Hasn't quite made the corner well enough. So we've talked amongst ourselves. We've made our move, and hopefully we execute what we want to do. Pins will be cooperative, and we'll win this game.
All right, thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
There's a confident guy right there.
How could you not be when your last name is Belmonte?
But
he made a great shot, but his point is spot on. Their break points are too far down the lane, which makes the ball come in behind the head pin, and that's the perfect ingredients for leaving 10 pins.
Here's the new LAX lineup. Dick Allen and Lavery Spar swap first and second, and then do the 3, 4, and 5 spots identical. No change from Tim Mack, the Portland Lumberjacks manager, who's seen his team win all 3 games so far. And you know what? Might not be enough. Oh, wait a minute. I stand corrected. Ryan Simonelli is now batting leadoff. This was just handed to us a second ago. And Kyle Troop has moved down to the 4 spot. Otherwise, Malat, Prather, and Hoope stay the same.
So, let me get this straight. You have this winning ingredient, or ingredients, and then you change something.
Well, let's see. Let's see how it goes.
I'll ask Timmy.
I think you're going to. But first, Simonelli on the left lane, leading off now for the first time in the event. And once again, you've been Simonelli'd.
Tim Mack, can you hear Randy?
Yeah, I can hear you, Randy.
So you guys you haven't lost a game yet, and then you move to the left lane and make a lineup change. What's going on?
We didn't like Ryan's look. Ryan thought that it was a little more tricky. He had to be a little more perfect on this left lane. So we wanted to flop him out and hopefully get us going early and have Kyle, who's actually looked really good in this lane, put him in 4th right before West. So let's see if it pays off for us.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Well, it paid off for Simonelli, and Dick Allen is in his 3rd spot in the lineup tonight, and he still cannot cash in on any breaks.
That's like his 89th 10 pin he's left tonight.
Man.
Well, tonight, he's been about as lucky as a bald guy finding a gold comb. You know? I mean, just nothing has gone his way.
Now, Mitch Hoope's last go-around on the right lane didn't go well. He left the 2-8-10. That's how you come back.
And that's how you stack 2 strikes together. Simonelli gets him off to the good start, and Hoope right on top of it.
Just one, right?
I look at that sign, and I thought there's one line I can quote. They brought their toys. So Lavery's Park. Yeah, there's a messenger that slides into the base.
Well, that's one way to get the 10 out for LAX, is just throwing up pins at it. They've left a boatload of 10 pins. And I'm honestly too excited and too tired to go back and start counting how many 10 pins they've left in 3 games. Although, you know, I probably will.
Oh, go right ahead. Chris Prather, he's had an interesting evening. He's also had a few 10 pins left behind, and he's also had a big miss. This time, slams it. 3 in a row for the Lumberjacks to get started on trying to lock down this championship.
All right, you want to know how many 10 pins LAX has left?
Hit me.
In 3 games and 2 frames, they've left 13.
That's absolutely staggering.
Guess what? You're not going to win anything with pin carry like that.
I hate to say this in the 3rd frame, Randy, but this feels like Buttriff has to strike.
I kind of feel the same way. And how about a 7 pin?
And a quitter 7 at that.
They've left a boatload of those as well. From both right and left-handers. Sliding as he's letting go of the bowling ball. Very unusual. Typically what we see from power players is that that slide foot comes to a stop. Foot first, ball second. But this kid sure knows how to bowl, doesn't he?
Yep.
Look out.
All right. Got a piece of it and hung on there. Stayed on the tightrope. Well, if you get 4 in a row here.
Every little bit that you can.
And we see that is a tightrope right there. The Walenda brothers approved. Kyle Troop now bowling in the 4th position for the first time in this Elias Cup 2019 version. Well, they got this lane figured out. And with the Lumberjacks having the first 4 strikes in this match, and should they roll a perfect game, everyone in the country can receive a free game of bowling courtesy of Go Bowling. Just simply head to gobowling.com and register for the Go Bowling Free America promotion.
Andrew Kane, what do you tell your team to turn this around? You guys are running out of frames.
We might be, Randy, but they're 1 hit away from being behind us. We've got a shot to get back in this, all right? This is the best game of our lives, and we just got to bowl it.
Thanks, Andrew.
14.
This is freaking ridiculous.
It's unbelievable.
10 pins.
It's unbelievable. It really is incredible because it doesn't matter which guy is throwing it for their team. I mean, I'm not sure the last time I've seen carry this bad for 5 players on the same team.
5 world-class players, champions, major champions.
Maybe we're going to go to something.
Wes Malott trying to make it 5 for 5. And you see what he has done. He could be your MVP frontrunner.
Yep.
And the open frames were just fillers. They didn't really matter. When they've needed him, the Big Nasty has been there.
What if they close this thing out in style?
Yeah, I hear you.
Do you think there's any way we get out of this building tonight? I mean, we only have a 5:30 a.m. flight tomorrow.
Nothing to it. Let's go right to the airport. They may storm the court, so to speak. That happens. See, somebody can throw a strike on this team.
All right, we started from here, boys. Right, let's do this.
Talk about just being totally deflated.
The PBA on FS1 is sponsored by Go Bowling. For promotional offers, tips to improve your game, news, or to locate a bowling center near you, log on to gobowling.com. The Elias Cup That may be paraded through the streets of Portland. I'm just suggesting it. I'm not saying that we'll be able to make it, Randy and I, but we'll be there in spirit. If the Lumberjacks can hold on, they do have a sizable lead through 5, but you know what? Their manager, Tim Mack, is not letting up.
The ball like we're behind. All right? One shot at a time. That's all we need. One shot. One shot from everybody. Be who you are, 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 and I'll be who I am. All right? Let's hunker down, and let's take us home out of commercial. Let's go. All right?
You know, if you can't get inspired by Tim Mack, then you're a lost cause.
Yeah. You know what? And when he says, I'll be who I am, that is who he is.
Yep.
Upbeat guy, positive.
Sounds like a guy who used to play fullback at Penn State.
Absolutely correct, sir. So Ryan Simonelli was moved by Tim Mack to the leadoff spot for this game on the left lane. Ryan's had a spectacular evening tonight.
Been solid throughout.
Well, the 300 is over. And really at this point, Randy, all LAX can hope for is, A, they got to string a ton of strikes. They also going to need some opens.
What they're hoping for is that the carry turns around and all of a sudden the Lumberjacks can't strike and LAX starts stringing them.
And they eat away at the lead. Now, if that happens, LA hasn't won a game yet. We'll have a roll-off for this round. And if LA wins that roll-off, then we'll have another roll-off. By roll-off, I mean one shot, unless, of course, the 2 shots match. So, still a lot of potential here for crazy. But this has to start now. Finally, Dick Allen. Finally.
Well, glimmer of hope, but they still need help. I mean, right now, if you're on LAX, with the exception of maybe Jason Belmonte, who's one of the most positive people I've ever met, you got to feel like you're slowly being poisoned.
Well, one guy who did have a big open earlier tonight was this one here, Mitch Houpe. Not this time.
Tell you what,
curling broom to that 10-pin.
Yeah, not bad. Look at, yeah, get him. Get him, Hansons.
Old-time hockey, putting on the foil. Love it.
Must-strike situation here for Anthony Lavery-Spar.
Nope. It's been that way. It's, what, 15 10-pins now?
Yep.
For LAX just tonight?
It's gross.
That's not a word I expected to hear you say.
Well, it's because I can't curse.
Yeah.
It's just not, it's not pretty.
Okay. Hangs on for the conversion.
I freaking yammed on that one, too.
Chris Prather, who struck the first time up in this game on that left lane.
I tell you what, I think that talk that Chris and Wes had, along with Tim Mack, really settled him in and gave him a real good picture as to how to play the lanes.
Oh, boy, there was a little trouble there. They got broken up, so he's got a single pin he should be able to manage.
And you know what's funny is that didn't look all that bad, but again, you're right. It was a nice break for only leaving the 2-pin. When you're 31 pins ahead, all you want to do is avoid open frames. And right now, with a spare, the Lumberjacks will be at 239 pace, and max score for LAX is 238.
I moved and I didn't need to.
See, I didn't think it didn't look all that bad. He said I moved and I didn't need to.
Checked off of him. Just a little bit.
Second guessing himself after that. Now here's Jacob.
Rather see that than have him stay where he was. Lanes break down. He goes right through the nose for big 4, right?
Beautiful.
He hammered on that one.
Absolutely gorgeous. 542 on that rev rate.
Still alive.
Like the finger, Jacob.
But here's somebody who could suck some of the life out of that alive right now. shot here.
Look out.
Okay. Right. It's kind of like watching a football team run out the clock with 3-yard gains.
Yeah.
They're not ready to take a knee yet.
Yeah.
Game's not over. They're milking the clock.
We all know what happens when you play prevent defense, though.
Way to work out there. Good job. Good job.
Now we have the possibility of a tie. But Stu Williams must strike on this ball.
All right.
So if LAX strikes out and Lumberjacks, Wes Malott steps up to the 10th and goes strike spare,
Please be a good guess.
we will be tied.
Cool.
And then it could be like another hour of just endless roll-offs.
Just roll off after roll off after roll off.
Gotta have it. Gotta have this one.
Oh, wide. First time he's missed.
First time he missed the pocket. It looked like he kind of got it in, and the ball just sailed.
It doesn't matter.
It just sat there and hydroplaned all the way down the lane. Watch this. So this doesn't get all that far to the right. You see that?
Yeah.
And the folks down in the stands are starting to figure out the score. But right now, LAX's max score is 218. Wes Malott needs to stay upright.
He's good at that. It's not official, Randy, but if I had a vote, this guy has to be the MVP. He did it again. And you can take the Elias Cup on a parade down 4th Street.
Look at me, baby. Look at me.
And there is Charlie Mitchell, the proprietor here at Bo Portland. The hometown team has done it. The first title for the Portland Lumberjacks. They began their life as the Pittsburgh franchise. And then the love in Portland was so strong that the team was renamed the Portland Lumberjacks, and they finally have the title.
How good was he?
Utterly magnificent. I mean, I gotta believe he's going to be the MVP.
He's my MVP vote.
Yeah.
Did everything he had to do and just was so good in the 10th.
He was the perfect anchor man.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw others do very well. Tommy Jones with Dallas, but this guy was.
And wasn't it interesting that night one, he anchors game 1, and then they go over to the left lane?
Yep.
And they move him out of the anchor position?
Yeah, they moved Ryan Simonelli in. Well, Jason Belmonte couldn't even make everything go down for him today. That's just brutal. More 10 pins left. I mean, that's the story for LAX. Watching the top player in the world have to shoot a 10 pin. It's over.
Really feel bad for Stu Williams and Belmonte and the rest of their team. They got 0 breaks tonight. It was all Portland all night long.
Well, they deserved it. Every player came through with a significant contribution tonight, and then when you had to have the big guy at the end, the anchor man, the cleanup hitter, whatever cliche you want to use, whatever term you want to use, Wes Malott came through in studly fashion. And in the middle of all this madness with PBA Commissioner Tom Clark and Tim Mack and the Elias Cup, Kimberly Pressler.
Guys, I'm sure you can feel the excitement that's going on right now, but I'm joined by Tom Clark, the CEO and Commissioner. Please do the honors.
That was awesome. What a performance. Timmy, you brought it home, man. You brought it home. You got the...
just in a surreal moment that we're experiencing right now. Charlie Mitchell, Bayside Bowl. Everybody here in Portland has been so fantastic. We finally able to bring home the championship to Portland that they so much desire. I can't thank so many people to thank. Go Bowling, Fox Sports, you guys are awesome. Oh my God, what a moment. We loved it.
You guys put on an amazing show tonight, but right now, I'd like to start out with giving that MVP. Would you please do the honors, Mark Robb?
Hometown favorite team, Lumberjacks, goes to Strike a Lot, West Malott. 2019 MVP, Mark Roth.
You worked hard for this. You worked very hard for this and came through with your team. How much does it mean to you that you're walking away with this MVP?
Especially not this building, but yeah, they're going to have a party tonight. The roof will be on fire on that third floor above boat pole here. What an evening of great bowling by the Portland Lumberjacks, captained by Tim Mack, and a very, very deserving championship team. They beat an LA team with maybe the two players of the year in Buttriff and Belmo. Of course, they have Chris Prather on that side, and it was a huge victory for the Portland Lumberjacks. So the Portland Lumberjacks are your champions. Ryan Simonelli brought the muscle. Wes Malott brought the strength, the MVP. Kyle Troop, the energy and the talent. And it all worked out with the shark, Chris Prather. And the Lumberjacks, your champions.